Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another presentation of the Mystic Racing League. This time from Racing Perfection, just a little bit better here in Newton, Iowa for the KAYTEE IndyCar Series. First time on a short track this season, the Iowa IndyCar 180. We got that one for you on tap here in just a few moments' time. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook. You're watching V-Speed, as you have been all season long, and will continue to all season long, right here, right now. Now, I mentioned Iowa Speedway here in Newton, Iowa. If you haven't been, this is a fantastic facility. Would highly recommend. One of the newest ovals, if not the newest oval, as far as construction goes on the NASCAR calendar. Just a touch under 1 mile in length at 0.85 miles. Variable banking in the corners, meaning the very bottom of the racetrack, that 14 degrees you see on your screen. Up top, I think it's 18 degrees, something like that. 5 different grooves you can theoretically run here, one for each lane on the racetrack. 4 corners on this D-shaped oval, opened back in '06, putting on great racing ever since. Designed by Rusty Wallace, modeled after Racing Perfection down there in Richmond, Virginia. This one is pretty darn good as well, here in the middle, the heartland of America. Qualifying has just ended. Let's get down to the grid to see where your favorite driver will start tonight. Let's get this thing rolling. Starting on the pole, John Stillard in the 5. Luke Barnes will start in the 2nd position. Third tonight, Adam Holston in the 98. Devin Curl, surprise, surprise, up in the top 5. Will start in the 4th spot. Starting in 5th, rounding out that top 5, Christian Barnes in the 27. Noah Hubbard will start in 6th in the 4. 7th will be Seth Heyman in the 30. Brandon Willard in the 8th spot, driving the number 22. In your top 10 belongs to Seven Hawthorne, who's been great all season, and Corey Kobe in the 10th spot. 11th will be Jonathan Giasheri in the 8. Matthias Ezekiel Marcomini, will start in the 12th spot, making a debut here tonight. Matthias Bernachetes, butchered that, apologies, will start 13th. Caleb Hunt in the 14th spot. 15th, Jack Fiffner in the 55. Steven Addison starts 16th in the 81. Reggie Kime will start in 17th. In the 9, Mason Mitchum in 18th. And final car on the grid, Devin Lyons in the 24 rolls off from 19th. Now let's get trackside. Find your favorite drivers already in the gridding process here on the end of pit road. Pace lap should be short here, under a mile racetrack. Lap times are going to be bad fast tonight as well. 17-second bracket for the quick ones. You might even dabble in the 16-second bracket, which is almost unfathomable how fast that is around this racetrack. Let's have a look at the race analysis. 180 laps on board tonight. Pit road speed 40 miles an hour. Pit road speed limiter, it does exist on the car. Shouldn't have issues speeding. Getting down from the mid-hundreds to 40 might be a problem on the pit road entry while you're still turning the wheel. 4 tires is available. I don't know how many of those you're going to use, but with fuel at 60-65 in fuel map 1, you may use at least 2 of those sets under normal conditions. 2 faster pairs in case things get a little bit hairy, which they very well may, considering how last week went, and the fixed setup here that iRacing provides for IndyCars at Iowa. Now, those of you with a keen eye may have noticed that this track recently got a facelift. A couple years ago, they added this dark strip, which you see, versus that very light strip on the top of the racetrack. New pavement, a little bit more grip, but there's a bit of a bump on entry and on exit when you go over the seams. It can certainly change the way this car drives. And these cars, how glued to the racetrack they are, any bit of bumps or changes in the racing surface can certainly play a massive, massive part in getting through these corners. Some drivers experimenting with wide open, others feathering the throttle, trying to find the optimal way to pilot these basically rocket ships around this little racetrack. I imagine pace car will be in this time to work through turn number 2, where we're going to see a big dive off the top of the racetrack, big hill down. Allows you to get a great run off the top here and make racing competitive from top to bottom. One of the things Rusty Wallace was really keen on when he designed this racetrack. Again, what a fantastic facility we have in store for the setting this latest chapter in the KAYTEE IndyCar series here from Mystic Racing League. Will the pace car go in this time? No, one more lap around here just for good measure. Field working their way through turns 1 and 2. See, caution lights still on pit road. Pit road is closed. You cannot enter pit road yet. Not that you'd really want to. You missed the start. Held basically a lap with how fast these cars are rolling. Certainly not something drivers want to do this early in the race. I believe now the pace car should be bringing it onto the pit lane. Drivers starting to get into formation. 2 by 2 all the way back, all 19 cars. Pace car dives down. We're about to get rolling here in Iowa. Green flag is, oh, and we're wrecking on the front stretch. Uh-oh. Not a great start. Caution is out. Car upside down. Oh no. That's not how we anticipated the start going. Lap 1 begins in carnage. Curl, Hubbard, and Marco Mini got the worst of it. Luke Barnes as well. Let's go back and see what causes from a high perspective. We saw the leaders just throttle up exceptionally hard. We saw that was Stallard on the bottom, the orange car, that blue, black with orange trim. That is Curl. They both hit the pedal and it just didn't hook up. Turned straight right, and unfortunately a lot of drivers caught up in it. See from high above, we'll go back and ride with Mark Community. There's those two. Everyone in the high lane has to scatter. Willard did a good job getting around it. Few drivers behind, not as lucky. Biggest hit came from this car, who is currently upside down. Marcamini. I don't know who he caught, but somebody came up the racetrack and got him. Able to see it here. Looks like it's going to be a normal start. All of a sudden, green flag drops. And we got drivers wrecking. It was already on the brakes, and then somebody was not on the brakes. I don't know who that car was. Was that maybe Barnes? I think it was Barnes that got him. Have one more time here. No, Barnes on the front row. Oh, there's two cars with the same paint scheme. That's convenient. Reggie Kime, perhaps, that got him? Yeah, Kime time. For sure. Anyway, back to live here. Big winner out of that. Adam Holston gained a few spots. He'll be up at the point when we get this thing back underway. Likely lap 5 is when we'll do that. Good thing you got 2 fast repairs, because you're going to need both of them, it looks like, in this one. Number of drivers already burning the first one, and we haven't even completed a corner under green yet. Drivers who have used a fast repair: Luke Barnes is already down 1. Noah Hubbard, Devin Curl, Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini. They have all used a fast repair. Every other driver still on the racetrack have not used their fast repair. Kime and Stallard pit. Sorry, Stallard also used a fast repair. Kime pit, but just for quick 10-second repairs. Should be doubling up here. Pace lights, I imagine, will go out this time. Yes, they will. Oh, right, we don't double up in this series. We single file restart, of course. So Holston will be the control car. Barnes, Heyman, Hawthorne, and Willard are your top 5. They all avoided the carnage. Big loser out of that one, Marcamini, making his debut here tonight. 3 laps down already, still on pit road. I think just left now pit road. Started back in 12th, down 7 already. All unfortunately just caught up with a driver who, unable to avoid the accident, got into the side of Marcamini and put him into the accident, rolled the car over, had the tow back to pit road. That's likely where most of that time was spent, was on the hook. Now the pace car going to pull in, and we're going to do this thing the right way. Holston at the point, leads them to green. We're back racing here in Iowa. Few moves already being, oh, Holston's around on the front straight, or on turn 1. Caution is out for the leader, Adam Holston. Caught the apron down in 1 and 2, and it pulled that car around. We are from the green. Dives it down into the corner. Left front on the apron, just pulled it right around. Lazy spin, no contact with anything. Just lost all the track position he inherited. Two quick yellows to get this one fired off. Barnes now your leader. Christian Barnes has gained 4 spots simply by not crashing. Most of the field, if you're in the top 10, has gained spots by not crashing. The only driver doesn't fall in that category would be Luke Barnes in 10th, who is down 8. Everyone else has gained at least 3 spots simply by keeping it clean. There is one thing I want to go back and look at here. It was Gia Sherry on the restart. Let's see if we can ride on board here and see what he did. Played a little trick on Brandon Willard. We're going to see it here. This is coming to the green. Willard's actually blinking out a little bit. It's not really helping. So we're getting ready for the start here. Yeah, there is no Brandon Willard. Where'd he go? Probably part of the issue. It wasn't this time. Regardless, what I was going to try and highlight here is that there is no. You can pass a car to the right, so to the high side of the racetrack, under the green flag. So if you have somebody who leaves you a lane and a half open to the top, you can pass them as long as you don't jump the start. That is completely legal. You cannot pass somebody to the left. So if a driver pulls down or spins out to the grass and you pass them, that's okay. If they spin into the wall and you pass them on the left, that is illegal. That's a black flag that likely will not get cleared by race control. So we saw the 8 jump around the 22 like that on the restart, pass them on the right side, completely legal, just caught Willard sleeping. That is a legal maneuver. Something the drivers will have to watch all night. That's why we typically see the leader restart right up against the outside wall and everyone follows. Because you can't pass between the leader. You can pass the leader and the wall. You cannot pass between the leader and the grass. Quick look at the weather. Track cooling. During practice was 87 degrees, now down to 74 degrees. Ambient stuck at 69 Fahrenheit. I'm going to say Celsius, that would be hot. Holy cow. For those just joining us, quick recap. 2 cautions, 2 lead changes because the leader crashed both times. Working lap number 10 in this one. At this rate, it might be a long night, although I expect them to clean it up here shortly. Holston back to 15th after the self-spin. 7 drivers have pit. Everyone else still on the racetrack on their original stuff. Now let's try this again. Pace car is off for the 3rd time tonight. Field in the hand of Christian Barnes, and we get it going. Now that restart was illegal. Gia Sherry passed him on the left. You can't do that. Holston might have been in the same boat. We'll see. Does that black flag get cleared, or do you end up taking the penalty if you're the 8? We got battles all over the racetrack. A little further back, 2 and 3 wide. Caleb Hunt slices through traffic, gets around Jack Fiffner. Oh, we're wrecking. Big time crash. The leader again. Christian Barnes involved. Another driver with damage. Is that Curl? Somehow, that might have been Lyons. Somebody got heavy damage. That's odd. Let's see what happened to Barnes. I think that's Heyman right behind him. Oh, no. Oh, was that Devin Lyons? It was Devin Lyons. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Right on board here with the 48. 24, apologies. 24 is just struggling to get going. Leaders behind him, coming up in a hurry. And there's the leaders. Went into the corner here and it just didn't hook up and up the racetrack, and boom, there's the leader. Now, something happened to Curl too. Because Curl came through this with pretty heavy damage. What happened here to the 15? This was the lap before. Some smoke, that was from Lions. Passes Kime. Oh, that little netcode, I don't think he saw that car there. Yeah, netcode definitely impacted Lions. Kime spins it for good measure. What a wild start to this one. Leader has crashed 3 different times. Once on the initial start, once on the first restart, and once 2 laps after the second restart. What a wild turn of events we've had so far. Is it safe to lead this race? I think that's going to be the question drivers are asking, with things just kind of popping out of nowhere. Heyman, now the driver up at the point. Sherry up to second. Clearly, black flag was cleared. Not sure if that is going to be okay the rest of the race to pass to the left. That's an iRacing rule, not a league rule per se. But that was definitely, he definitely cleared 7 by the time they got the start-finish line. So that might be something to watch the rest of the race. If you can pass on both sides, that's going to really change restart games. Willard hanging out in 4th +4, just biding his time, minding his business. Corey Kobe hanging out in the 5th spot. Again, just gated spots, +5 already. Matias Bernachez in the 47, running in 6th, is up +7. He's the biggest mover of the day. Sorry, that's apologies. Giasheri's biggest mover of the day. +9. Bernachez up 7 spots. Hunt, Fiffner, and Addison have all gained 6 positions each. Luke Barnes is down 5 to 7th. Pace car has the lights turned off. Heyman has the field in tow. What does the 30 do? Do we see more leader drama? Here we go. Pace car makes the dive onto pit road. Off of the fresh asphalt, they go into the restart zone, checks the field up, and we are racing. Oh, there goes Giasheri into the grass. Caution not out. Mark Amini with the black flag. Caleb Hunt with the black flag as well. Willard slow on the bottom of the racetrack, got hooked on the apron, lose a bunch of spots. Battle for 3rd is hotly contested right now. Here comes Barnes. That's Luke Barnes. Trying to pass the 47. And here comes Fiffner, got the run. Now it's Holston. Hunt almost makes a bad move there. Fiffner trying to take the spot from Holston. Holston tries to work back to the lead where he spun from some 15 laps ago. Hubbard under fire from Caleb Hunt. His black flag was cleared. Clearly we are not worried about passing under the restart. It's a great dive to the bottom. 47 gets around Kobe. So does Luke Barnes, all while Seth Heyman is out by half a second. Over 7 Hawthorne is pretty quick in these Indy cars. Kobe's under fire. Noah Hubbard chases him down. Hubbard peeks to the inside. Up off of turn number 2. Nothing doing. See, look at how good of a run. Just saw Hubbard get car to the outside still. Clears Kobe. Here comes Hunt trying to get a little action in here. This racetrack equally about managing dirty air as well as handling tires. Hunt slides up the hill. Kobe had to lift. That was just about an accident. Both drivers did a great job avoiding such catastrophe. You see it a lot already in this race. Best battle on the racetrack right here. Pfiffner trying to chase down Holston, who was driving through the field. Heyman is stretching out to a 1-second lead. Let's see if we can figure out what the 30 is doing. Almost wide open in 5th gear, keeping it wound up. Maybe was wide open through 3 and 4 that time, but listen through 1 and 2 again. Little bit of a lift right as they get to the end of pit road. Let's go 7 Hawthorne. Almost 190 miles an hour. And just ripping at 11,000 plus RPM. That is wild stuff. Why when I use the word Heyman with a big issue. And they're wrecking behind him. That's Holston again. Brendan Willard's around also. First off, what happened to Heyman? Big bobble. Dives down into turn number 1. Looks okay there. Maybe it was in 3 and 4. I don't know if it just didn't stick or what happened here to the 30. Oh yeah, he just didn't stick down to the bottom. Great job saving it. Hawthorne had to check up. Holston lost it trying to get around him. And the 22 just way lifted on the top side. So Heyman back to 6th spot. Luke Barnes inherits the lead for the first time today. Bernatchez up to the 2nd spot. Oh, and there goes Luke Barnes. Hawthorne into the back of him. Great job saving that one. These cars are on edge. Oh my goodness. That is the 3rd time we've seen the leader have a big moment in front of the field. 3 different leaders. 4-car battle. Someone's going to catch the fence here. Seth Heyman tries to get back to the point. Put a big move there on Barnes and Hubbard. Heyman's got a fast car, clearly. Just trouble holding on to it that one time. Then Luke Barnes, same move. Oh, Barnes dives to the bottom. Going to get right to the tire. Oh, just about clipped him. Got the dirty air. Wow, that was close. As Jack Pfiffner hangs on to 2nd. .47 out front by 1.2 seconds. We've seen that lead evaporate quickly with mistakes. As Kobe fights around Hawthorne. This is the battle for 5th. Oh, almost contact. Hubbard tries to work over Barnes, not successful here. See, they're playing aero games a little bit. If you're the 2nd car in line, if you're Hubbard, you have to be able to guess where the driver in front is going and pick a different spot this time. Oh, he tried to go to the bottom, wouldn't stick, and lose a lot more momentum now. As Pfiffner's on a mission. Pfiffner is catching little by little. That time by a little bit slower, but gap right around 1.1 seconds. Pfiffner's better out of the corners. Matthias better into the corners. And there's Willard on the high side. Under fire here. Lap down on pace. First car 1 lap down. Fighting against Marcamini. Was the only other driver off of the lead lap. Devin Lyons is retired after the crash with Christian Barnes. Addison and Curl scrapping for 10. Curl caught the wall a little bit. Oh, we got a big old battle here. Somebody had a big moment. Because Hawthorne just passed 3 or 4 cars. So we're going to replay on that. Something big time happened here. There's Willard in front of these guys. Potentially one of the... Oh, there it is. Heyman got loose again. Checked all of them up. Hawthorne went to the bottom and passed all 3 of them. What a move by Hawthorne. This Seth Heyman car must have a weight jacker to a very aggressive position. Seen this car get loose a few times. Tries to chase down Hubbard. Heyman back to 6th now after leading a few laps. Clearly has speed in this car, just not quite able to harness it. Barnes up to 3rd. They are 2.1 back of Pfiffner, who is 1.2 back of Matthias Bernichez. Curl with an issue. Curl has crashed off of turn 4. No caution. Rough day already for Devin Curl. Already used both fast repairs. Probably going to maybe not end the day, put a big damper on it. Yeah, just a big loose moment. Oh, he touched the wall. I don't know if he actually got the wall that bad. Oh, he didn't hit anything. Oh, he got it there. Caution is out. Noah Hubbard, big issues. Running 3rd. Maybe 4. There it is. Oh, yeah, big slide off of turn 2. Knocked 2 of the 4 wheels off. And that car is not going to go very well for Noah Hubbard. That'll be his first fast repair used. So we have some drivers stopping on the racetrack to allow the pace car to catch up. I think that caution came out in a weird spot as far as it goes for pitting. Bernichez and Pfiffner couldn't pit. Luke Barnes and the rest of the field were able to pit. That is going to significantly hurt the top 2. They'll have to cycle all the way back to the back of the field once they pit here in just a moment. I've had this happen to me in officials before. Very frustrating when this happens. Just nothing you can do about it but get to work. There's a lot of work to be done here. They're going to cycle back to 14th and 15th respectively should they pit this time by. It's really a no-brainer to pit here as well, I would think. 50 laps in, we can't have much more fuel left. Maybe 20 laps with all the cautions. They're the top 2 bring it down pit road. Barnes inherits the lead for the 2nd time today. But this puts you in a window to almost one-stop it from here. Like you're right on the edge of one-stopping it. If we bring up race analysis again, we remember that we can go between 60-65 on fuel. That's fuel map 1. So fuel map 8 during cautions, maybe 2 or 3 during the run to save a little bit of fuel. 130 to the end. You're looking pretty good to one-stop it from here. So it kind of comes out at a perfect time, this caution. Now everyone has taken at least their first set of tires. and put fuel on it, put fuel in it. Back on the lead lap. Welcome, Marcamini. Haven't been on the lead lap since lap number 0. Up in 15th. Curl, first car, 1 down. Willard, second car, 1 down. Hubbard still towing. He is 3 laps off the pace. It's the Barnes show up at the front. Luke and Christian lead the way. Heyman, Kobe, Hunt, Hawthorne, Stillard, Mitchum, Holston, and Giasheri are your top 10. And Addison, Kime, Bernachez, Fiffner after the pit road issues, getting to the pit lane. Marcamini, Curl, Willard, Hubbard, the final cars running. Lyons again off the racetrack, many laps down. He will finish 19th, where he started here this evening. Pace car going to bear left here. There we go. Field back in the hands of Luke Barnes, and we are racing, and we are hitting the wall already. I think that was Holston back there. Caught the fence on the jump. Back here, this is Giasheri has another black flag, another restart violation. Ooh, almost near contact up there for second. Heyman and Barnes scrapping. Fiffner part of it as well. That's Christian Barnes' apologies, falling back. These cars don't have big numbers on the side. It's hard to tell who they are sometimes. Especially when you have 2 cars with the same scheme. A la Luke Barnes and Noah Hubbard, who's back on the racetrack 3 laps down. But that recognizable Hawthorne number 18 has been fast all night and really all season. 18 chasing down Heyman, who has been sideways a lot of the night, but very fast in the 30. And 190 into turn number 1. That's just absolutely getting it here. And with the draft gaining down the straightaway, doesn't lose much into the corners either. A little bit more there in 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, different line perhaps. Just can't quite get it hooked up in the center. Hunt having a great run. Hasn't had a good run in a while in the Mystic Racing League. He's had issues finishing races here for the 19. Running 5th right now. Chase down Christian Barnes, rival from last year. Put a pass on him here. See what Caleb's got for us. He's getting way out of the gas. Is Holston with an issue? He's on pit road. Losing a little bit of ground here for Caleb Hunt. Lap times aren't far off, but Barnes the fastest car on the racetrack right now. Only car in the 17.4s. Everyone else running 5s, 6s, and 7s. So see if we can learn what the 27's doing. Just getting really low on the racetrack. Gets below Hawthorne, able to get here's some air on the oh, there goes the leader again. Luke Barnes is around. Another self spin for the leader. Basically the same thing that happened to Curl, just got close to the wall and just looped it. Barnes back to 12th. Right behind the aforementioned Devin Curl. Curl still first driver 1 lap down in 15th position. This is one of the very few races I've ever seen where the leader is the one who gets into trouble. Usually it's drivers in the mid-pack scrapping, really having difficulty. Caution is out. Was it the leader? It was not the leader. It was Brandon Willard having a rough night. I mentioned it always being the leader, and then here we go. Willard loose off at 2. Gonna catch the inside wall. There goes the nose cone on the 22. No tire damage though, so might be okay. Meatball flag might not be that bad. The driver is already a lap or 2 off the pace. Well, now we can for sure one-stop it. Over a third of the way through the race already. And a quick one too, only 45 minutes into this one. If you like what you see, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate having everyone in the chat, everyone watching at home, even if you're not in the chat, and all the subscribers and everyone who makes this thing possible for us here at V-Speed. Your host and producer, Morgan Cook, the entirety of the broadcast team here this evening for the KAYTEE IndyCar Series for the Mystic Racing League at Iowa. Been a wild night so far. We'll take a quick step aside for GC Spider side by side. Be back right after this.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Back here live on V-Speed. Pace light still on the pace car. Doing one more lap around before we get it back underway. A little recap for you if you're just joining us. 5 cautions, mostly for the leader crashing. Whoever that leader was, we have seen many issues in the midfield. And at the front of the field, drivers with just these massive wobbles up off the corner. We've seen Heyman do it a couple times. Barnes spin from the lead twice. Christian Barnes spun once. On the initial start of the race, we saw a few drivers, John Stillard namely, spin the car out. Many drivers getting damaged from that. It has been a wild evening. Already here, just over a third of the way through this one. Heyman is your leader. Hawthorne in second. Those have been constants up at the front. Christian Barnes went to the back, has made his way back up to the front. Caleb Hunt, the biggest mover, he is up 10 positions. Corey Kobe's been hanging out around the top 5 all day. Gia Sherry is in the 6th spot. Bernachez in 7th. Fiftner, Barnes, and Addison, your top 10. Pace car driver brings it on in. Into the restart zone. We're back green here in Iowa. Oh, not a good jump for the leader. Hawthorne way to the outside. In fact, Heyman might have went early. I don't think I've ever seen the leader get passed and black flagged on a start before. That's a new one for me. Black flag cleared, but Hawthorne is shot out like a cannon. Move C. Barnes up to 2nd, and Caleb Hunt into the 3rd spot. As we got a gaggle behind him. Look at the move from Luke Barnes. Top to bottom elevator. What a move on Kobe. And here comes Pfiffner. Kobe falling back. Pfiffner still cannot quite clear. Right in the tire tracks that time. That's not going to help the aero situation. This battle going on right in front of these guys. Barnes and Bernachez. Now Giasheri gets around Heyman. Heyman falling from the lead here. 30 charges back on the bottom. Heyman slides up a little bit, but that's that racing perfection. Refined, if you will. And allegedly the world's fastest short track. Which 190 miles an hour, I would probably tend to agree. Heyman's falling back here. That car's slipping in a big way back through the field. Back to 7th already. Restarted up at the point. Did not get going. Been ganged up on ever since. Barnes to go around Giasheri. Giasheri goes way high. Gonna lose a bunch of spots. Not quite enough grip on the very high side of the racetrack. Is that Kyle Busch inspired number 8. Looks to try and move back forward. Kobe falls back one more spot. Another, I believe, Kyle Busch inspired car. Potentially, at least the sponsor is. Heyman keeps on sliding backwards. I wonder if there was maybe no tires on the Heyman stop. Oh, Heyman almost caught the wall there. Lose even more. Parachute falling out the back of the 30. Not sure what he's fighting. Maybe, not sure if it's a loose condition, a tight condition, whatever it is. This car's falling back in a hurry. Hawthorne has fallen back. Lost a lot of positions here. What happened to the 18? Leading all by his lonesome. And I think it's into turn number 1. There it is. Another big slide. Seen that kind of all day. Lost a lot of time. Christian Barnes going to sail on by. Now under fire from Hunt. Gets back around the 19. Hunt blocks. Fades bottom, 100 to go. Here from the cornfields of Iowa. Luke Barnes tries the inside. Pins the left front on the apron. Somebody has gone for a spin again. Addison, perhaps. I think it was Addison. It must have been Willard. Oh, it was Willard. Car blends in with the grass. And just a big moment off before. Might have lost the right rear tire or something. That car down in the grass. Not having a good time for league owner Brandon Willard. Hunt. Bernachez. What's the 47 got for the 19? As Barnes under fire from Hawthorne. Not much doing there, but the battle for the lead is heating up. Hawthorne dives down to the bottom. Drivers race by. Heyman under fire again, losing more spots. Move the 30 back to the top 10 here. Once Mitchum gets around him on the bottom, that light blue car, that'll be 10th spot for Heyman, the worst he's been all day. Oh, issue for Hawthorne. Netcode connection problems. That was almost scary. As I believe we're working lap traffic. That is Brandon Willard again. Going 5 down this time. Thought he was going to get loose there off the floor, did not. Lucky for the drivers around him. Fiffner tries to chase down Giasheri, closest battle on the racetrack. Up in the top 10, I should say. As this little trio, make that a quintet back here. Battling for lead lap spots. Evan Curl back on the lead lap, by the way. So the rebound is on for the 15. Mitchum leading this line. That's 9th. Riding up over with Curl back in 13th. You see, he's able to kind of roll the early center, but as soon as the weight gets crossed over, loses the front grip and has to lift. Good run there in 1 and 2, but he's going to lose time. I feel like the middle is where you want to be here. I could be wrong about that, but just based on what I've been seeing, middle you can carry a little bit more speed, a little more forgiving on entry. All the spins we've seen have been trying to drive to the bottom. As Mitchum has gotten away from Heyman. Now Stallard under fire from Marcamini. Is up front. Luke Barnes trying to chase down 7 Hawthorne and Christian Barnes, your 2 leaders. Just crossed over halfway. Hard charging 7 Hawthorne. Now has Reggie Kime to contend with before they can get to Christian Barnes. What a fun one this has been already. I mean, we have seen some absolute carnage in this race. Another recap for you. 5 cautions, now 10 lead changes. The leaders continue to have trouble. Oh my goodness. Hawthorne cannot quite clear Kime. That was almost an accident off of turn 2. Oh my goodness, Luke Barnes almost clipped Kime as well. These drivers not having a very good time around here. Fiffner up on the back bumper of Giasheri. If there was a bumper, of course, it's a rear wing in these cars. You can really see Fiffner rolls the center exceptionally well. Down there on the bottom, gets to the inside. Oh, he's going to try and put a pin. Didn't quite work. Another near time moment. Another time that Fiffner really rolls the bottom. Let's see if we can catch this from behind the wheel. Not great in 1 and 2, but really finds a lot of speed down there in 3 and 4. Able to gain momentum, center off. We got a good battle back here. Heyman continues to slip back. We're back to 13th now for the 30. Looks like just fighting a twitchy car right now. We're working towards pit stops here for some. Your top 7, 8, back to Corey Kobe. They're going to have to pit here in the next 10 to 15. Everybody else, you got about 30 to 40 left in the tank. All drivers should be able to make it should they run the tank out. The question is, which strategy is better? Who can get on and off pit road better? Will there be another caution? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. As Christian Barnes has been about the most comfortable leader's been today. Led 34 of the 105 we've run so far. Hawthorne's led 11. Luke Barnes has led 17. Bernachez has led 15. None for Caleb Hunt. I think Giasheri, he hasn't led any either. And then Heyman's led 24. I think those are your lap leaders today. Holston led a few under caution. As Kobe tries to work around Pfiffner. Pfiffner still trying that really aggressive bottom of the racetrack. This might be a run here for Kobe. Goes to the top side, going to get pinned behind KAYTEE. He'll roll the middle. Tries to split the difference. Caution is out. Adam Holston has gone around. That changes everything. '98 was 3 laps down. Mason Mitchum with the problem as well. He was right behind Willard. Beat that Holston. Holston just catches the wall. Oh, back up into Mitchum. Oh, that's a big hit for both drivers. That will burn fast repair number 2 for Holston. That'll be the first one used for Mason Mitchum, who is still rolling, just missing some parts and pieces off of his IR-18. Should see the whole field bring it down pit road here. And this gets you dangerously close to making it to the end, but it's not quite enough to get there. Decommissioned car of Adam Holston. Still getting towed. It's going to put him his 4th lap behind the pace. Luke Barnes just pulled into the pit stall. Who gets off pit road first? Now Heyman into the box. Christian Barnes 1, Luke Barnes 2, Bernachez 3. As they roll off of the sun-soaked exit of pit road here in Newton, Iowa. 70 laps remain. Just more than what I was budgeted on fuel. That was 60 to 65 in fuel map 1. Fuel map 2 potentially going to have to get used here, break out the leaner fuel mixture. And I bet drivers are fighting right now to get down to fuel map 8 under caution to save as much fuel as they possibly can as well. Turning the car off does not particularly help in this series. You usually can't get it refired. That's why they made fuel maps in the clutch. Put it in fuel map 5 for a few laps. You might lose some spots, but you will absolutely make it on fuel in that situation. Save loads of fuel that way. For those curious drivers who have not used a fast repair today, Bernachez, Giasheri, Hawthorne, Hunt, Pfiffner, Kobe, Heyman, Time. That's it. 8 of your 19 have yet to use a fast repair. Everybody else has had one issue or another, whether it be on the initial start or any of the other 5 cautions we've had here tonight. This track temp has gone up just a touch. So is ambient. We're up to 70 Fahrenheit. Up 1 from where we started. 18 cars left running in this one. Ace lights are out. Willard, last driver running. 6 down. Holston's 5 down. Hubbard down 3. Addison down 1. Curl and the rest of the group on the lead lap. Pace car rips down pit lane into the start zone. You see the white lines on the racetrack and back racing. Yeah, Sherry got sleeping on the restart. He'll lose 2, maybe 3 spots here. Pfiffner can get around him. Oh my goodness, almost contact off of 2. There is contact. Pfiffner loses the nose. That car's going to be super tight. Without a caution, that's day over for Jack Pfiffner in terms of winning the race. Now Hunt gets around Giasheri. That's back to 6th for the 8 car. Christian Barnes and Luke Barnes battle for the top spot. One car length separate them. Dirty air, you can see just how bad the second car pushes. Luke leaves about half a nose available in the bottom lane. Now this time around, Christian goes middle, loses time. The battle's on for 3rd. Hawthorne is caught up to Bernachez. Crossover coming. Oh my goodness, what an aggressive move. 47. Tries to stick it to the bottom. He's going to slide up into Hawthorne. Near contact off of turn number 4. These two, I don't believe, are going to let that one be the last of this battle. Hawthorne, motors around the top side. He will clear easily. Single file for the most part throughout the field. We enter the final 60 laps here. Luke Barnes over Christian Barnes and 7 Hawthorne. Matthias Bernachez and Caleb Hunt, your top 5. Giasheri, Mason Mitchum, Matthias Ezekiel Marcamoni, Seth Heyman, and Corey Kobe are the top 10. It's the Barnes show up front. We've seen both drivers lead today and both drivers crash from the lead today. With the fresh tires only 11 laps old, do we see another moment as the right rear starts to wear? Driver spins. Luke Barnes. Caution is out. Again, the leader having problems. Down into turn number 1. Up off of 2, and just another loose moment. Wiggle, bang. That will be his second fast repair used as drivers scream by. That car's trying to get back to pit road, but not really rolling all that well with the damaged rear tires. Might get there. Might go a few laps down getting there, but the right rear is not really helping. Oh, and there it goes. Never mind. Luke Barnes has a big damper put on his day. "55 laps to go. Christian Barnes, Matthias Bernachez, Mason Mitchum for the first time in the top 3 today. What does the 3 have for us? Marcamini with the rebound of the day was at one point last in this race, 3 laps down, back up to 4th. Up 8 from where he started. Seth Heyman back up to 5th after a few spins and some aggressive wobbles. Devin Curl is 6th. That's a great rebound as well for a driver who's been caught up in 2 accidents. John Stillard, pole sitter, has yet to really see the top 5 today. Jonathan Giasheri has been up and down like a yo-yo. Caleb Hunt was up in the top 5, cycled back under pit stops. He is in 9th. Ori Kobe in the 10th position, hanging around 5th to 10th all day long. Reggie Kimes somehow back on the lead lap with all the caution. 7 Hawthorne falls well back. He just hit the pit road. Steven Addison is the last car on the lead lap. Pfiffner is 2 down. Noah Hubbard is down a pair. So is Luke Barnes on pit road with the meatball flag. Holston's down 5, and Willard is down 6, but still running. Still only 1 driver to retire. Devin Lyons 114 laps ago. That is your entire 19-car field here tonight. Pace lights are out. Restart with just over 50 laps remaining. Can Christian Barnes hang on? Does Bernashev steal one? How about Mason Mitchum? Just come from further back. Is it a magical debut for Marcamini? Can Seth Heyman regain the point after what has been a very fast car that is on the edge of control at all times? We're about to find out. Barnes into the start zone, and we are green. Easy clear for the leader. Mitchum's going to clear for second. Here comes Heyman. Sticks it to the bottom of the racetrack. Gets the run off the corner, not quite side by side. Top 4 break away for a moment. Burrow leads the charge for 5th. Heyman falls back. Now under fire for 5th. Giasheri tries to take over the spot from Curl. Not quite enough. They roll off of 4 into turn number 1. Hunt's under fire. That's a lap down car of Jack Pfiffner, so not really a battle for position. Pfiffner, of course, first car a lap down, 2 laps down. $50 laps remaining here in Iowa. Drivers starting to use the entirety of the racetrack up off the corner. See here, dirty air be a factor up to 6th gear. We're really starting to push it now. See the big tight condition. Center off. That car will not turn. Heyman falls back a spot. Curl got around him again. We Curl up to 4th. As Heyman continues to struggle off the corner. There goes Giasheri around. Here comes Mark. Oh, wrecking behind him. 7 Hawthorne. No, just a connection issue. I thought that car was destroyed. Caleb Hunt is well off the pace. That car's got damage. Back here with the 19. So this is Pfiffner. Hawthorne. Oh yeah, Pfiffner got Hunt. It actually was Hunt that I saw had the damage. Just the rear wing popped back on. That's a frustrating deal for Caleb. Was running really, really well. Now he's going to be way off the pace. Back to 12th with the major nose damage. Pfiffner meatball flag. That's going to end his day. We're about to be at 40 laps left. Yeah, Caleb Hunt, caution is out, 2 seconds off the pace. Where is the yellow? Hubbard, potentially? Rolls through turn 2. I see smoke, but I don't see a reason. Nothing yet. Oh, I think it was Willard again. Yes, it was Brandon Willard. Just a rough night for that highlighter 22. Tries a crossover. Way down on the bottom of the racetrack. And I think it just stepped out here on the exit. Maybe trying to get around Hunt. Oh, Hunt clipped him. Oh, and hard hit. The 22, he still has a fast repair left, not quite day over. Yeah, that one would say on the tight condition of the 22. Tires being put on for a few drivers. Aggressive move here. Front 4 stay out. Everyone else brings it down pit road for tires. With 40 laps to go, Christian Barnes will re-inherit the lead. What an up and down day. It's impressive that in a field of 20 cars, you can find yourself running in almost every position in the race at some point in time. From the back to the front, to the front, to the back, and everywhere in between. For the 27 and the 15 for that matter. Evan Curl not out of this one yet. Let's break it down on tires as drivers are just now exiting the pit lane, all of the drivers. The last time drivers pit, you can see it was about 29, now 30 laps ago for Barnes. Same boat for Curl 2 laps before that. 15 laps ago for Giasheri and Hawthorne. Everyone else pit on the previous lap. So top 4 are really on 2 different strategies. See if either of them pay off. $40 laps to go. Barnes, Curl, Giasheri, Hawthorne, Bernichez, Mitchum, Marcamini, Kobe, Stillard, and Kime are your top 10. Pace lights should go out this time by. Yes, they will. What a fun racetrack. Again, if you've ever been here, I think you understand exactly what I'm saying. If you haven't, quite a great racetrack to go watch a race at. You can see pretty much every part of this racetrack from the grandstands, which is quite a nice experience. Similar to Auto Club, how it was built before, obviously, it met its demise, but where the backstretch was a little bit higher than the front stretch, so the drivers or the fans in the grandstand could see without having to get the binoculars out or sit really high up. Pace car wearing a path in the asphalt down into pit road. Barnes, Curl, Giasheri, Hawthorne, your top 4. Let's get them back wound up and going here. Curl trying to play defense and park the bus on Hawthorne. Hawthorne down to the bottom. Aggressive move for the 18. Does it stick for now? Yes. Bit of a squeeze up off the corner for Curl. Here comes Giasheri, potentially making it 3 wide. No. Hawthorne's going to get snug. Oh, he got him. He got Curl. Curl is around. And that is going to end it for Curl, who has out of fast repairs. You saw that one live. Saw them tight together on the exit. 18 just slides up a little bit, catches the 15 of Curl, and Curl with heavy, heavy damage. That's at least 2 tires not operating properly. And I believe Hawthorne going to get charged with the caution on that one. Yes, he will. Well, that changes things. Still time left to get back in the race, but Hawthorne going to have to really fight for it. They will fall back to now the 12th position. Make that 13th, as Curl will now be likely retiring from the event. And move Hawthorne back to 12th behind Steven Addison, who's having a solid day. Gain some spots, unless fails to finish the race, will gain spots here in the final 35 from where they started the day. Barnes, Giasheri, Bernichez, Mitchum, and Marcamini, your top 5. I mean, what a wild race. 9 cautions and 12 lead changes with still 35 left. We had trouble getting this one started. I believe we had 3 cautions in the first 15, possibly 4 in the first 20, something like that. Had trouble getting this one underway. First was the spin right off the rip, right at the start-finish line. A couple drivers crashed into the outside wall from row number 1 and row number 2. Then we had another spin on a restart. Adam Holston went around down in turn number 1 as the leader after inheriting the lead from the initial start I mentioned. Then restart number 3, this driver, Christian Barnes, minding his P's and Q's down to turn number 3, hits Devin Lyons, forces Lyons out of the race, and Barnes well back in the field. Barnes, of course, recovered to the lead in the dying moments of this one, with still 1 faster pair in hand. Now, once again, drivers who have a faster pair left: Giasheri, Bernichez, Obi, Heyman. Somehow, that car has been sided with more than anyone else. Issues there for Heyman. Caleb Hunt, 7 Hawthorne, and that is it for drivers who do not have who have a faster pair left. Pace lights out on the pace car once again. For the 10th time tonight, the pace car is going to drive it down the pit lane and give the field back to the leader. Barnes, Christian Barnes in control. Gets a good jump. Will clear by a few car lengths. Is this the battle to the end? Top 3 break away. Bernichez slips down. Mitchum going to go for an aggressive move. Not going to make it stick. Here comes Marcamini going to clear him. Here comes Kobe going to clear him. Can Stallard get the job done as well? Bleeding stopped at Kobe. As Mitchum fights back to 4th. Make that 5th. As Barnes and Giasheri, big gap, back to the 47. Driver hit the wall and crashed. I don't see who that is. That's 7 Hawthorne. One of the fastest cars today. That is going to end the day, more than likely for the 18. Already a lap down. Is going to go at least 2 laps down here. Battle for the lead. Half a second separates 1 and 2. As Heyman and Hunt battle for 8th. And behind the lap car of Jack Fiftner, who's 6 off the pace. Oh, Hunt got right on the door that time into the corner. Made the 30 nervous. He might clear into turn 3. He's got a shot at it. Here comes Holston. Also a lap down. Holston 5 laps off the pace. 25 to go. Clear track ahead for Christian Barnes. Nothing but this newly laid pavement. As Bernachez chases down Giusheri, this is a battle for second. Clear for now, up aggressive off the corner. Gets the spot done, 47 to second. Can he get to the leader? The gap under half a second now. Barnes has to keep hitting his marks. As Heyman with an issue, falling back again. Oh, meatball flag for Heyman. Big issues here. Help from Holston? No. Oh, maybe it is. Yes, it is help from Holston. Catches the wall. Heavy damage for another one of the fastest cars tonight in the 30. Oh, and he almost hit the barrels on the entry, too. As Barnes has dropped back to only 3/10. And he's loose. Sideways up off the corner. Battle for the lead. Oh, he got him. He spun him. They're both crashing. They're both wrecking. Give the lead to Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini. Unbelievable. This from the onboard of Bernachez. Tried the move, got tight, clipped Barnes, and up and over we go into the outside wall. Devastating for both drivers. Both had a fast repair, at least one left. Both gonna have to use one of those right here. Starting to run out of cars here. Pace car flutters by the field. Marcamini, Mitchum, Stillard, Giusheri are your top 4. Into pit road safely for the 47, as well as Christian Barnes. Both those drivers will get those cars repaired and back in the race and probably be in the top 10. Yeah, impressive work by the pit crews to get them out. Still in a competitive position. Race not quite over yet for them, just a bit of a setback. As we are under 20 laps remaining in this one. Marcamini, Mitchum, and Giusheri lead the way. First time we've seen Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini lead today. Mitchum has also not been to the point. Those are the two biggest movers of the day. Mitchum's up 16. Marcamini up 11. Sounds like an airplane on one of those cars. Who's it going to be, chat? 7 of you left watching. Who is going to get the job done? Does Marcamini make his first start a special one? Does Mason Mitchum go grab the win? Or does Jonathan Giusheri go up there and steal the belt? How about John Stillard? Started on the pole, spun before we even got the green. Has quietly fought back up in that bright orange car into a top 5 position. And Corey Kobe, can't forget the gold machine, hanging around the top 5 all day long. When we get back to the stripe, 16 laps to go from Newton, Iowa. This one is going to go by quickly. Should there be no more shenanigans. To the high side goes Marcamini. Going to restart way up there, above the new pavement. Pace car deepens the ruts on the high side. He's going to check up the field into the zone. Really late launch. Oh, and Mitchum's in the wall. They're wrecking down the front stretch. Caution should fly here. There it is. Caution flies. Mason Mitchum was the catalyst for this one. If you want to call it that, I suppose you could really say that the 77 of Marcamini was the catalyst, but regardless, Mitchum couldn't really go here, got boxed in, and then crashed. And down in front of the field. Oh, he got hit by, I can't see who that was. That Hubbard, maybe? It was Hubbard who got him. Other drivers involved, Corey Kobe. Saw him. I think Caleb Hunt was the other one. Got spun with the 86 here. See both these drivers trying to avoid the accident. End up peeling down the racetrack. Yeah, we'll see that right there. Well, another bump in the road for these drivers. A few more drivers having issues here at the end of this one. I'm not sure if Hubbard has a fast repair left. Looks like taking quite a bit of damage repair on the 4. Might be end of his top 10 run, although he is actually 10th right now. Heyman looks like he's going to take that spot away here. There he goes. Heyman up to 10th. Mitchum still has a fast repair left, though may just elect, well, he probably has to tow, but may elect to not use it here and just say, good enough for today. I know it's early in the season. I know it's only our second oval, but man, we got to get these restarts figured out. My goodness. Something I'm sure will get brought up in an admin meeting here in just a few minutes is, what do we do on restarts? You drivers having banner days. Steven Addison in 6th position. How about Reggie Kime in 5th? Christian Barnes is back up to 4th after spinning from the lead. Matthias Bernachez up to 7th after spinning from 2nd with Barnes. But can anyone catch Marcamini and get that spot away? Lights still on the pace car, at least one more time around. restart looks like with 12, maybe 11 laps remaining in this one. Pace lights will go out this time. We're really staying far back from the pace car here. A restart with 11 laps to go. Shootout. And for those curious, should we get a green white checker situation, there will be none of them. We will go to scheduled distance, potentially a natural green white checker, but we will not have any scheduled overtimes here. Not in the IndyCar series, not in the KAYTEE IndyCar series do we see any kind of overtime. So all Mark Amini has to do is stay in front and maybe hope they keep wrecking. Into the start zone again. Really checks up the field and is going to launch. Field behind him scatters. Feeling that restart's going to get talked about post-race as well. Gets away by 0.4 of a second. Does the 8 have anything for him? Does Stellard have anything for him? How about Christian Barnes, top 4? Pulled away from Bernachez. That's in 5th. Somebody's wrecking already. That is Addison with an issue. Giasheri is there. Arrow block like your life depends on it to keep this lead. Here comes Stellard to the bottom. Oh, that is now what Giasheri needed. Loose moment off the corner for the 8. And Stellard is going to dive to the bottom. He's going to clear for the spot. Here comes Barnes. Can the bright orange VRL car get up to your leader? With only 7 laps to go. Addison did make it to pit road. He is on the pit lane, back off pit road now. Gap now 0.4 of a second. In fact, Addison's still rolling down pit. He's on the apron. Different car on the apron. What is going on here? It's Holston on the apron. And here's the battle for the lead. Going to protect the bottom. Oh, what an aggressive block down the inside. Stellard, where does he go? He's got momentum. And here comes Barnes waiting in the wings. High side for Stellard. Bottom for Marcamini. Got tight off the corner. Here comes Barnes. Going to have the run on the bottom. 5 laps to go from Iowa. Barnes going to clear easily. Might only have one shot at him. Marcamini. What does he do into turn 1? Is it a high arc down to the bottom? And oh, he goes around. Around goes the leader. Into the outside wall. That might just hand the win to Christian Barnes with 3 laps to go. Unbelievable. That, I think, is going to give Christian Barnes the win in Iowa. What a race. 2 laps to go. Collect the white flag along with the yellow. As Marcamini, all he had to do was complete another 2 laps under green. But the car got loose into turn number 1. Barnes was able to sneak by. And the rest, they say, is history. One more time around, it's going to be at the excruciatingly slow 50 miles an hour. Your final running order today: Christian Barnes, John Stillard, Matthias Bernachez for third, Jonathan Giusheri, Reggie Kime, Caleb Hunt, Corey Kobe, Seth Heyman, Mark Amini, and Mitchum. Your top 10. As we cross the line in the least eventful way possible, Christian Barnes is going to be your winner here in Iowa. Congratulations to him. Led 81 laps today, including the one that mattered. The race is now official. Big win here for the 27. Momentum for the week. Got a lot of racing left here in the Mystic Racing League. Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. But Christian Barnes going to get the week started off right. From 5th to the point, 82 laps led. He's going to win race number 3 of the season, this time from Iowa. Let's watch some burnouts. There it is. Eventful finish to an eventful race. Let's have a look at your results. Christian Barnes going to get the win here. Stillard finishes in the 2nd spot. Bernachez in 3rd. Giusheri rounding out your top 4. Reggie Kime survived his way to a 5th place finish here tonight. Caleb Hunt, after the late contact, will finish in 6th. Corey Kobe in 7th. Heyman, final car on the lead lap, in 8th. Mark Amini, after leading down to the final couple laps, will finish in 9th, 2 laps down. And Mitchum in the 10th spot in the 3. Stephen Hawthorne looked like the car to beat for a lot of the day, will finish in 11th, 3 laps down. Addison will finish in the 12th spot. Fiftner 6 laps down in 13th. 14th for Brandon Willard, who soldiered on to finish 9 laps down. Adam Holston in the 15th spot after damage the very end of the race. Hubbard will finish 16th, 12 laps down. Luke Barnes in 17th. Devin Curl 18th after a rough day. And Devin Lyons will finish in 19th, where he started the day. Well, let's get down trackside. Chat with our winner. Christian Barnes, working from the booth. You got a copy. Got a copy, Christian?
Hello.
We got you.
Yes, I do.
We got you. All right. Welcome to Sofa News Victory Lane, this time in the KAYTEE IndyCar Series. That was wild. Why don't you your day from start to finish was nuts. Why don't you just kind of talk me through it today?
Yeah, I think every time that I got to the lead, I either got wrecked or just bad position. And man, when I was leading, the car felt the best. Clean air was king. If everybody was on equal tires and you just hit your line, it was very difficult to get to the leader. But yeah, that first lap crash went from 5th to 2nd, and then the leader spun on the very next lap or very next restart. And I was like, all right, that's one way to get the lead. And then I don't know what the lap car was doing, and then wiped me out. Just I don't know what was going on there. So at that point, I was like, oh, it's going to be a chaotic Iowa race, just one of those races. And I was able to drive back up, and once I got the lead, I felt comfortable that I could lead and pretty much pull away with it. And then we had another late race caution, and then I got spun, and at that point I thought it was kind of over if things didn't go my way. And luckily we got Another restart wreck where I was able to, get through it and gain a few spots. And then on that final restart, I just had to make the runs when I got them and, hope that it stuck. And luckily I was able to get the second. And I guess the leader just tried to arc it a little too hard and lost it. That's very easy to do, unfortunately. But, I was able to luckily come out with it and, out of laps to have another restart.
Yeah, so you mentioned leader having the issue there at the end that really gave you the win. You inherited it from Mark Amini there on the last couple laps. But you mentioned arcing it in and having the car spin around. We saw almost every leader today have some sort of issue, especially down in 1 and 2. Kind of get that car down to the bottom. Was that just a case of yanking on the wheel too hard, a little too much speed, upset the car? Or is there a bump or something down there on the repave? What is it specifically that gets this car so out of shape in that part of the racetrack?
I honestly think that people were just got a little bit too comfortable leading. So they felt like they could pretty much, make the car do anything. And I think after just doing it for a couple of laps, they, get comfortable to go a little bit, more, a little wider, arc it more. And unfortunately, at some point, the car can't stick. And yeah, I think it's just one of those things where, you just get too comfortable, lose track of kind of where you are in the corner, and they try to yank it just a little too hard to get back to the bottom, and that's usually when they just lose it. So I think it's just getting too comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely saw a lot of that today. A lot of drivers having issues from the point, really more than anywhere else on the racetrack. We saw very few incidents in the mid pack and back of the pack. It was very much the
Yeah,
leaders
I
having
think one
issues.
other thing is that when you're back in dirty air, the car can get a little bit tight, but when
Sure.
you're in clean air, it's pretty loose. So I think that's another factor.
Was there any thought of adjustments, whether it be ARBs or weight jack or anything like that, while you were leading to try and curb that loose condition?
I did not want to adjust anything because I don't know these cars
Right.
too well.
Gotcha.
So I feel like if I was to adjust anything, it'd probably hurt me a little more than help.
Right.
So I just left it the way it was.
Makes sense. And well, we got you up here for your first win of the season here in the KT IndyCar Series. Who do you want to thank, and who do you want to shout out, and what kind of momentum does this give you for the rest of the week?
Yeah, the momentum's pretty great, honestly. Finally getting back to victory lane after I'd say a rough past 2 weeks. Not being able to finish very well. And then I wanted to thank Meatball Ideal Motorsports for having me on for the IndyCar season. I want to thank our sponsors: Ideal Pest Management, Advanced Work Fans, Jim Blossom Designs, MX Wraps, Gilbert's Fleet, Ideal K9, K1 Speed, and Carolina Wheel Repair, and all the other guys at Meatball.
All right, thanks for your time, Christian. Congratulations, and that's all from Sofa News Victory Lane for this one here at Iowa.
Thank you very much.
That was race winner Christian Barnes. I'm going to slide down podium one spot to second. That would be John Stellard. Stellard or Stellard? How do you say the last name?
It's Stellard.
Well, apologies. I'm saying it in the
Oh,
French way all day.
no
So,
worries. No worries.
regardless, wild race for you from the
Yep,
pole to second. Although that does not even come close to telling the story. Walk me through it
not
today.
at all. Yeah, I mean, I think I just first of all owe everyone in the race an apology for spinning at the start there. That kind of set the tone for the chaos that was to come. I think it's a really tough car at one of its toughest tracks, and even my teammate Mason was in the race, and he ended up suffering from the wheel spin as well. So we were just really surprised by that wheel spin, and I even practiced it and still got it wrong. So I think just to start off, tough, but I love that the league has the fast repair option, and you get back out there and start doing what you can.
And a lot of drivers using at least one of those fast repairs. I think every driver, with the exception of the fourth place finisher, used a fast repair tonight. It was a chaotic one today, and while you never got a chance to lead a lap, you obviously had the issue there on the initial start. It seemed like the leader got in more trouble, you included, than any other position all day. Why do you think that was, and how'd the car drive in dirty air?
Absolutely. I think the car actually handled really well in dirty air, but I think a lot of people were suffering from tire slip and just needed to take care of their car. We obviously realized that there were a lot of cautions and accidents, so we really just needed to get the car around. And I told Christian a couple times that I just think he absolutely killed it on the first big green flag run. He was catching me, and I was getting worried I was going to go a lap down. So his pace was just phenomenal, and he absolutely deserves the win. So as you said, it was hard to be the leader, and that's where he finished. So absolutely impressive drive by him.
I'm sure he will love to hear that. And you mentioned dirty air here, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're fairly familiar with these cars. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I've been racing IndyCar consistently for like the last 6 months, I would say. I've only been on iRacing for a year, but IndyCar is what I absolutely run the most. So, um, definitely looking to get more short track experience, especially, got a lot of that tonight. But I actually didn't think it was as bad as some of the tracks we go to, especially some of the mile and a halves. I think here at Iowa is just more about, really just making the turn and not letting your car get loose on you, as, happened to many of us tonight.
So tell me, while you're driving in dirty air, we had heard from Christian that it kind of tightened the car up a little bit, of course, with less downforce on the nose. What can you do as a driver, both in the driver's seat and with the controls on the steering wheel, the weight jackers, ARBs, etc., to be able to kind of mitigate some of those tight conditions and make the car drive a little bit better in those situations?
Yeah, my first go-to is either trying to set my anti-roll bars to be a little bit looser if I'm really getting caught up in dirty air and I'm feeling like I can't make a corner. But my favorite tool to adjust, especially during the race, making changes and uh, kind of giving it clicks here and there when I need it, is the weight jacker. So if I'm feeling dirty air and having trouble making it through turns, most oftentimes, I'm getting shoved up in the wall because of that dirty air. I'll turn the weight jacker up a few clicks. And actually, if I'm in clean air, where I mentioned the car is a little bit more slippery, I like to give it a little bit of negative click, which I think it's really a personal preference thing, but that always works out for me.
That was my go-to as well when I used to drive the Indy cars, and definitely was successful on racetracks like this, being able to adjust weight jackers and ARBs to make the car drive different in different situations. So well done explaining that. I appreciate that kind of insight here from second place finisher. Now, while we have
Of
you up
course.
here, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for just a super eventful race? And where are we going to see you next? Hopefully, right here next week.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely coming back for Chicago Street Course. I've never raced there in any discipline, so I'm really excited just to be on the track. St. Pete and Long Beach and Adelaide Street Circuit are becoming some of my favorites. So I'm looking forward to getting to experience another street circuit. So really looking forward to that. And with shout outs, I think first of all, just my teammate Mason, he had a really great race and I think was gonna win it if he didn't suffer from that wheel spin at the late restart. So he was, talking with me throughout the race and giving me a lot of advice. So I really owe him this podium, first of all. And obviously he won last week, so he's doing a lot of things right. And I think outside of that, I just owe the Rogue team and my Votive Racing team, who Mason and I drive for, and just massive shout outs because they've helped me so much technically and just getting my bearings with the IndyCar. So awesome to be on the podium here. Awesome to be representing Votive and getting a chance to be here talking with you.
Awesome. Well, John Stellard, right? Stellard
Yep, perfect.
was stellar today. Second spot here. Congratulations. We'll see you next time
Thank you.
out here in the KT
Yep.
IndyCar Series. Now we will go down to the third place finisher. Morgan up in the booth, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, I'm going to try and pronounce this. I've been probably butchering it all day. Matisse Bernichez, is that right?
Yeah, you did great. French name. I think you did better than some of other English guy.
I try. French is definitely not my language, even though I am from the Great White North. Not a ton of
Oh,
French on this side of it, but regardless, third place. Great run today. You were kind of, I don't want to say all over the place, but in terms of position, you ran up front, you ran further back, started 13th, led some laps, and you really had a shot at it with about 20 to go, something like that. Got into Christian Barnes. Kind of talk me through your day a little bit. What did you need more of, and what were you happy with here tonight at Iowa?
yeah, first time in that league. Didn't know what to expect really. Been was just there for fun, and then we see that we're gonna be able to run at the front. So, yeah, we managed to take the lead. Then a caution bit of a kill us. We have to pit, and some people's just bit a bit before, so we went a bit from the back, then went back to the front, and then it's my fault. I hit Christian, and we just talked about it, and I was saying I'm sorry, but yeah, shit happens. But yeah, we were back on P3, and I'm really happy with what we did tonight.
Yeah, definitely a solid run here, and yeah, I mean, you also had the fast lap today too, which I'm not sure if you knew that or not. You were the only driver
No,
to touch the 16.8s, which just
I didn't.
absolutely ripping fast. Yeah, what more could you
I
have
didn't
done?
know that. I mean, maybe not wreck Christian and do a
That's a
good fight at
that's a good
the
point.
end of the 20 laps, and maybe finish at the front, because Christian was on whole tires and I was on new tires, so
Right.
it's gonna will have been interesting. But no, I'm happy with the P3.
Awesome. Will we see you back here in this series next week?
Yeah, sure. I'll be at the street course of Chicago for sure.
Awesome. Excited to see you there. And while we got you up here, who do you want to thank and who do you want to shout out for what was an eventful race here in Iowa?
Yeah. I just want to say a big thank you to my spotter tonight, Michael Chanay, and also the team I'm racing in, Quebec Metalheads. So yeah, just want to say a big thank you to all of them.
Awesome. Well, Matisse, thank you for your time. Congratulations. We'll see you next time
Thank,
out.
thank you, Morgan.
You bet. And that is your top 3 here tonight. And that's pretty much going to do it for this one here for the Mystic Racing League, their KT IndyCar Series. We are well into the post-show for the Iowa IndyCar 180 from Newton, Iowa. If you like what you saw tonight, make sure to drop us a like and subscribe to the channel here on V-Speed. I've been your host and producer, Morgan Cook. See you next time out, right here on V-Speed.